review of the Edgenuity lesson, angles in standard position. So just as a reminder, on this coordinate plane, I've written in all the quadrants. So the top right is the first, then you travel counterclockwise. So it goes first, second, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. And they usually use Roman numerals when they're identifying quadrants. So the way it works for degrees is the x-axis here, the positive x-axis is 0 degrees. Up here is 90 degrees. Then over here you hit 180. The negative y-axis is 270 degrees. And then if you finish the entire circle, go all the way around, this is also 360 degrees. When you draw an angle in standard position, the vertex has to be at the origin, and your initial side has to be the positive x-axis. If from the x-axis, so there'll always be a line there with an arrow indicating the direction. So this way, this would be a positive angle because from the x-axis, we're opening up. So let's say it is, I'm just going to make it up, 135 degrees there, a positive 135. So also, there are things which are called coterminal angles, and what that means is you have the same, different degree measures that get you to the same place. So if I said that this was 135 degrees, I could also go negative, so because I'm opening up down, 225 degrees, and it gets me to the same place. Same as like over here where I said this is 0 degrees and it's also 360 degrees. They're coterminal because they get you to the same spot. So we could go nothing or we could go 360 and we still get to the same spot. Let's see. So our first example here says angle T is between 0 and 360 degrees and is coterminal with negative 710 degrees. What is angle T? So to determine a coterminal angle, you can either add or subtract 360. So like right here when I said this was 135, if I wanted to get a coterminal angle with that, I could do 135 minus 360, and that's how I got the negative 225. Now you can loop it around more than once. So for example, I could go, let's say, let me draw a new. Let's say I wanted to draw an angle that was 475 degrees. So I would start here. Here's the initial side of my angle. 475 is more than 360. So that means we get to go around the circle one whole time. So there's 360 right there. So then what you can do is I've taken off 360 by doing my one complete loop, and that leaves me with 115 more. So I told you that up here was 90, so I have enough to get to 90, and then 115 is just 25 degrees more than that. So it would be right there. And I would draw the arrow indicating I want a positive 475 degrees there. So what we can see here also is that we are coterminal with 115 degrees. So if I took off 360, this right here, that spot there was 115 degrees. So to find another coterminal angle, what you do is you just either add 360 or you subtract 360 till you get to the right. So on this one, we're at negative 710 degrees. And we need to get to a value between 0 and 360. So I'm going to start with my negative 710, and I'm going to add 360 onto that. That puts me at negative 350. So again, we want between positives, or not positive, but 0 and positive 360. So I'm going to add another 360 onto that. Then we end up at 10, which is between 0 and 360. So the measure of angle T is 10 degrees. For example 2, it says find one positive and negative coterminal angle for negative 60 degrees, and 495 degrees. So there's an infinite number of solutions that you could do. For my positive one here, I'll just add 360 degrees, and that puts me at 300 degrees. So there's a positive coterminal angle. And then to find our negative coterminal angle, I'll just go negative 60 degrees minus 360 degrees so that we stay negative, and that's negative 420 degrees. Okay, so now let's look at 495. So if you wanted to find a positive coterminal angle and just add 360 onto that, you could. Because this is more than 360 though, if I take off 360, I'm in the positive still. I'm at 135 degrees. Now, if I wanted to come up with a negative coterminal angle, I can just go from here. So I already subtracted off 360. So now I'm going to take my 135 and subtract off another 360 degrees. And that puts me at negative 225 degrees. So I found one positive and one negative. Like I said, there's an infinite number of answers here. You could add 360 again, add 360 again, and use that positive coterminal angle.